called Barbershop Quartet along with it. And we're all looking forward to this, as I said, these nostalgic days. The only thing that's a little puzzling to me, and I think you're going to see that the reference to barbershop is a little confusing because there's either 1 out of sync or 3 out of sync. Boys?
Now that we have your attention, we'd like to say thank you for being here with us and allowing us to be here with you. And we'd like to show a little bit of something tonight that is a little bit different than what we normally do for a living, that is. And we'd like to do some barbershop singing for you. But we do a little bit more than just barbershop. And as we go along, we will sort of explain to you what we do. The playing is a part of that, and we'll get into that a little bit further on the way too. But right now, we're going to sing a barbershop, a typical barbershop tune. However, it's typical only in its construction, not quite the old barbershop style. And barbershop things have some harmony structure to them that is basically simple, but it's kind of interesting at times. And they try to use some chordal passages that are a little bit different, and that will be shown as we go along. But they also do something that has a message in the words. And if you listen closely to some of the words, you'll hear some of the message, and hopefully you'll be able to hear them as we sing By the Bend of the River. The golden moonlight, the glow, my thoughts returning to home, with their winging, my heart is singing a song all its own. the bend of the river, where rushes are growing, and waters are flowing, far down to the sea, on a soft, balmy June night, in the shimmering moonlight, I know that my own true love is waiting for me in the cool of the evening, and when shadows are falling, I can hear my love calling so softly to me. Through the scent of the heather, in the summer weather, we'll drift down together, my true love, with me by the rolling down by the rolling sea, rolling sea, rolling sea. Well, we see where your interests lie now. Believe it or not, I think we get better. That happened to be one of the very first of our tunes, and we still like it very much. It really has some nice harmony structure that we enjoy. It's not involved harmony, but it's pleasant. Barbershopping has another ingredient that can be fun sometimes, and that is that they have a humor side to them. And they like to pick subjects that can be humorous and present them as a semi-serious, and then all of a sudden let you break up over what they're doing. We'll try to accomplish that with this next little tune. It's called I Was Married Up in the Air. Romeo and Julie on her balcony, that was in the good old days of long ago, long ago. Girlies have been courted in ways that may seem strange, but I've been always looking for a change. So when I was ready to wed my lady fair, we grabbed an aeroplane and flew up their way. Up in the air, way up above in the clouds. We went up as two, we came down as one, and when I hit the earth, that's when my troubles begun. If I'd known what I was doing when I took that fatal flop, I'd have taken her up 7 miles and then just let her drop. I was married up in the air, I've been up in the air ever since we wed. I was married up in the air, way up above in the clouds. We took up a peach, we came down a pear, but the apple of my eye is now a lemon, I swear. For our wedding supper, we went down to dine with all the swells, but the dumbbell ate the oysters first, and then chewed up the shells. in the air, I've been up in the air ever since I was married to that wonderful, marvelous gal of mine. Now, when we started this, let me see if this was where I was going to say. Yeah, this is where I wanted to speak a little bit about how we actually got started. We'll let the other fellows get their breath back for a moment. The orchestra, of which we all are a part, I mean the Philadelphia Orchestra, was on a tour, a Trans-Mid-Pennsylvania tour. Almost 2 years ago, and let's see, Millersville, State College, and the big time, Harrisburg. And while we were sitting around after the concert with nothing to do, literally nothing to do, we were all just sitting there wondering, it was too early to go to bed and too late to do anything else. So I don't know what you mean by that. Literally, Roger picked out of his hip pocket a couple of these barbershop arrangements and said, is anybody around that would like to sing? And it just so happened that the three of us were standing or sitting right there, and we said, sure, we'd try it. We didn't realize at that time, actually in the singing it was fun and it was something we always wanted to do, but we didn't realize at the time that the instrument denomination that we all had was very similar to the barbershop voice denominations. And so we got the idea afterwards to try some of the barbershop things with our instruments. And this was the result. We're going to now play a couple of actually they were originally barbershop singing things, but we're going to try them on the instruments. They are a couple of tunes by the name of Aura Lee and Ramona. Now, these go on a little bit, and it gets a little bit long, but if you want to take a nap, that's fine. We'll wake you up at the end, and everything will be fine. But if you happen to have paid any attention to the very first number that we played, you may have noticed that Roger was playing then a slide trumpet. Now, we demanded that he play slide trumpet because we all play trombone, and we just couldn't see having the glissandos and so forth on a valved instrument, so he had to learn to play the slide trumpet. And it really, I think he did a marvelous job. And we're gonna Roger's kind of funny about it. He collects instruments all around the place and seems to put them together and try them. I don't know what this is now, Roger. It's different makes. But along with doing the instrumentation with the singing, we tried a flugelhorn, not flugelhorn. Flugelhorn. Sorry, that was an intentional slip. A flugelhorn. Thank you, Howie. Appreciate it. And the blend of the flugelhorn actually is very close to the trombone sound, and we hope that you'll enjoy Aura Lee and Ramona. along with the concept of barbershop singing, when we got together, one of the things that we wanted to try was to do some of the more modern types of sounds. And one of our favorite groups was, I don't care for anything, none of that. One of our favorite groups is called the Freshmen. I don't know how many of you know that sound or not, but it's a modern sounding group, and they do the kind of things that we like. We're going to do two tunes now from their library, so to speak, and the first one again has a little bit of a message that if you listen carefully to the words you might be able to catch. Not a message, it's just a nice little thing, a nice thought. It's called Their Hearts Were Full of Spring. And when we finish that, we'll go right into another one by the Freshmen, and this is more recent. It's called Polka Dots and Moonbeams.
Christmas dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an oh, beg your pardon. Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around a pug-nosed tree. The music started and was I the perplexed one? I held my breath and said, may I have the next one? in my frightened arms. Polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a pug-nosed dream. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we glided over the floor. There were questions, but my heart knew all the answers, and perhaps a few things more. Now in a cottage built of lilacs and laughter, I know the meaning of the words ever after. And I always see, suddenly there's polka dots and moonbeams when I kiss the pug-nosed dream. When I kiss the pug-nosed dream. Suddenly I see, and then I see. Suddenly I see, and then I see. Then I see polka dots and moonbeams.
Glenn decided to let me say a few words. I can hardly get through one of these things without doing something here. And one of the things I wanted to share with you tonight was my experience with barbershop quartets at the time that I was a student here at Curtis. And it was about 10 years ago or a little more. I won't tell exactly when I was here. But anyway, the regime was a little different then, because I was in a competing quartet that went to Washington, and we competed and won the district contest, which was kind of a big thing for this area of barbershoppers, which takes in the states of Virginia and Maryland, Washington, and the Washington, D.C. area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Well, anyway, I got back with my trophy and everything, and I thought I was big stuff. And I came to the school, and I asked our solfege teacher at that time was Matt Colucci. I said, gee, it'd be great if I could get my quartet to come up here and show these guys how to sing in tune, these barbershop quartets. And I'm sorry to say that he just didn't think too highly of barbershop at that time. So we were told that we weren't good enough for the Curtis Institute at that time. But now that I got in a better quartet, I feel like I've arrived in my barbershop career. So it's great to be with guys that enjoy doing it as much as these guys do. And I just consider it a real privilege to be able to be on this stage and doing barbershop, which was almost my first love. Maybe not quite, but it's pretty far up the ladder. Many of you know that I'm a 78 record collector, and one of my hobbies is trying to find songs for this group that haven't been done, that have been long forgotten, and occasionally a couple of them will really stand out. The titles, there's enough just to make you buy the record no matter what the price is on, and some of them you can pay a lot of money for. But anyway, these older songs in the turn of the century can really be catchy, and one that I found, which is an early form of music along with the barbershop era, is an instrumental form, and it's a rag. And these rags, were very famous by Joplin, but other composers composed them too, and we don't hear too many of the other composers' rags anymore. I don't know why, but here's one that I think is worth hearing. I heard it on an old Patrick Conway record. Patrick Conway was a famous military band director back along with Sousa, and he found this and did it with his band, and I heard it on the record, and I said, oh, I've got to do this with the guys. It's called the two-key rag. I'm not sure of the composer. I didn't get that far into it, but I did get the notes down. And it's the hardest thing to do is to keep it in the same key at the same time. But we're going to try to do it for you. The two-key rag.
Okay, it's fast getting time for us to close up shop here. Yeah. So we're going to do a number that is rather typically a barbershop number, but it's a nice arrangement. It's a nice arrangement that Roger did. We don't need the music for this. It just looks good up here, right? It's a nice arrangement of four-leaf clover that Roger did for us, and it's a little bit different than most of them, so we're going to do this for you.
Farewell, farewell, I'm saying farewell, every old familiar face. It's time to go, it's time to go. Backward, backward to the little place I left behind so long ago, long ago. Please, Mr. Casey Jones, carry this lazy bones. I should arrive in a day or two. Only wait till I communicate. Here's just what I'll say, hear me say. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. One leaf is sunshine, the second is rain, and the third is the roses that grow in the lane. And there is no need explaining, the one remaining is someone that I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before I went away. Gonna leave today, going back to stay. Now I want to say, I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. A little four-leaf clover. One leaf is sunshine, the second is rain, and the third is the roses that grow in the pretty lane. No, it's the one remaining is someone that I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I didn't mean to
you're all absolutely a super audience. You know, when we get to do this, it's mostly for barbershop singers, and what they enjoy the most about us is our playing. I think it's probably because they finally hear the balanced sounds and some of the intonation as it probably should be. But we like to sing, of course. So what we usually do is we come out playing, then we say, all right, now it's time for you to pay and listen to us sing. However, we're going to close up now with a song that was made quite famous with barber shopping. It came out of a musical. I don't think I really need to explain what it is. You'll know, I'm sure. And, but I still want to thank you all very much for being such a beautifully attentive audience, and we love you all. Thank you again very much. We'll play this and see what happens. Here we go. Okay. This is your problem from now on in. We'd like to do another one of the rags that Roger located on his old 78s. Old 78s, right? I'm not going to say it. All right. Anyway, this is called Wild Cherry's Rag, and this features Roger on the trumpet, and you'll understand why we call him Hot Fingers. It's yourself. No, Roger, we don't do that on this. All right, we got to apologize for him. All right.